Hey guys, how's it going? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about one of the most important things I think in language learning, and that is the idea that you want to do whatever you do today to make sure you don't get overwhelmed. So when you're looking at a strategy, it can be easy to look at efficiency, it can be easy to look at the quote-unquote best method, the thing you need to do, and say, I have to do it this way. But if you hate it, or if you get overwhelmed and it's too much, then you're going to stop. And I want to talk about this in reference to my experience learning Chinese characters. So while I think a lot of people criticize the Heisig method, so remembering the traditional Hanzi, or remembering the traditional kanji for Japanese, or anything like that, and I think one of the main criticisms is that you're learning the characters out of context, you're learning them in isolation, you're learning them without the pronunciation, you're only learning them to an abstract keyword, the keywords sometimes really abstract and don't capture the full meaning, and all sorts of things like this. And, I really think in the long run, a lot of these criticisms really don't stand true, they don't really matter that much, because really, the Heisig just acts as a stepping stone to launch you into being able to read real Chinese or real Japanese, and you only learn to acquire that skill of reading by reading a lot. So whatever you do to get you to that stage and to break it down into manageable steps is inherently a good thing. Now, I'm not saying Heisig is necessarily the most efficient method. I don't know. I haven't really tried any other methods. That's just the one that I picked when I was learning. But what I can say is that for someone who is new to the concept of Chinese characters, who's approaching the idea of learning thousands and thousands of characters with, no context, no idea how they work or anything like that, it's very, very, very intimidating. At least I thought it was very intimidating from the experience of, how am I supposed to learn thousands of these things if they look so intricate, so detailed, everyone's different, and really it makes the task seem quite overwhelming. So one of the best things I think personally about this book is that it makes it incredibly manageable and digestible in terms of the chunks it presents to you. So if I just flick to page 1 of the book, basically all it does is you have one English keyword with one character, and that's all you're learning at any one time. There's a set amount in the book, and the ones that first start off are very, very simple and easy to remember. You can see it's got the numbers here, and then it moves on to things like sun and moon, and then you can also see things like rice fields. You can also see things like rice fields. You can see I, the one for ancient over there, and so on. And see right away here, so you learn a character, in this case ancient, and then right after the frame after, you're combining it with something you've learned in the previous frame. So I really feel like this book does a really, really good job of stripping back all the unnecessary information you don't need, making it as simple as possible. Here's one keyword with one character, and you start off with the smallest, simplest ones and build up from there. So therefore you can take an approach, say I'm learning all the book, which is 1,500, or both the books, which is 3,000, and I can say I'm going to do it in X amount of days, and all I have to do is keep going and learn this amount per day, and after X amount of days I will finish both books. Now, will you be able to read after this amount of time? Of course not, right? But you will require the ability to break down Chinese characters into their, what the book calls, primitive elements, and this lets you, break down and learn any new character a lot easier. And I really do feel like this approach, just because of all the reasons I just described, does a great job at not making Chinese characters feel overwhelming. It makes it feel like an incredibly doable thing. It means you have tangible progress and you're just learning small bits of information at one time. The point of today's video is basically just to summarize up what I just said, so that really when you're looking for methods, it really doesn't matter, quote unquote, what the best method is. Sometimes the best method is the one that you enjoy and the one that helps you break down the task into manageable chunks. So I don't know if this is the most efficient method. Maybe it is better to learn it with the pronunciation in context of words. But for a lot of people that would be incredibly overwhelming, and this way you do step 1 and then step 2 you can just focus on reading simple things with the characters you've already acquired through the book, and then from there you can just expand out. And I think it becomes very much step 1, step 2, step 3, and because it's in that incremental phases, I feel like it's a lot more manageable. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to touch on what I think is a really important point, is the power of finding methods that aren't overwhelming. Because if you get overwhelmed and frustrated and stop, not only is it not an enjoyable process, but you're not going to get there if you stop. So yeah, thanks for watching. So as always, if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.